You're listening to Parasearch Radio, news, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio. Parasearch Radio, broadcasting to the UK and beyond.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Supernatural Chat Show with your host, Sean Cadman, only on Parasearch Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to the Supernatural Chat Show with me, your host, Sean Cadman. Well, tonight, what can I say about tonight's guest? Probably one of the busiest people in the paranormal. She's got fingers in more projects than you can shake a stick at, and one of the very, very best people you can possibly know in the paranormal. I'd like to welcome my owner of Paraforce UK, no other than Vivien Powell. Are you there, Viv?
Oh, Sean, you say such the nicest things.
Was that okay, was it?
Yeah. I don't call you my bro for nothing, you know. People don't realise our relationship, do they?
They don't, no, that's it. That's it. So, I mean, most people listening obviously know a little bit about yourself, about what you do and things like that. If you just want to have a little yak about yourself, what you do, what got you into the paranormal.
Well, I've been seeing spirits since I was about 3 years old, as you know, Sean. One of my earliest childhood memories was one of spirit, and it wasn't very nice. I had a rotten childhood growing up because of it. It was awful. And it sort of continued off and on until my teens, and it sort of backed off a little bit then after I went through, let's say, puberty. It backed off after that. But then it came back with a vengeance in my early 20s, and I ended up going to a spiritualist church, joining a circle with John Reese. He brought me on. I started doing platform. From there, it was from the churches, it's helping people within their homes that had problems. It wasn't just all this platform mediumship. It was going into people's homes and helping them. In that time, I studied so hard with the College of Psychic Studies, seminars, you name it, I done it, got the T-shirt. The research that I did that went along with it. Studying some of the darker stuff, but not practicing. I did get to meet some very colourful characters. Most of them, I must say, are not alive today, but they did help me along my pathway, and I owe them a lot. I know that I don't necessarily agree with what they did, but they gave me the insights as to what could happen. I mean, in the 80s, all the black magic and stuff that happened there, as you know, Sean, it was rife. So yeah. Caused a lot of problems, but from there I was asked to go on a pilot TV show as a medium, if you like, into ghost hunting. That's many moons ago. Nothing ever came of it, but that really sort of gave me the ghost hunting bug part of it, if you like. And so from there it slowly sort of crept in. Well, I want to prove without a shadow of a doubt that spirit actually does exist and what they can do. So I went down the pathway of being a paranormal investigator, but with a slight cheat by using spirit. And I'm not explaining it very well, but
I do fine.
But because I can sort of link in and psychometry on the buildings and things like that, I know exactly where to go. I mean, we normally get told to take 50 pictures in this room, and out of those 50 pictures, something's going to show up because my guides have already told me, you know.
Yeah.
And it does work. You've seen the proof, haven't you, Sean?
I have, yeah.
Pictures. So, that's what I do. I don't know what else to tell you. You put me on the spot now.
I know. Well, I know most of it, but it's for our listeners. I mean, I know you often say that there's a big difference between platform mediumship and mediumship on a paranormal investigation.
Yes.
For people that don't know, what sort of differences are there on that?
Right. Platform mediumship, for example, if I was platform mediumship is having messages from loved ones that have passed over, right? So it's like going into a spiritualist church or buying a ticket to go and see Derek Acora live on stage. I use him as an example. It's going to give you platform mediumship. It's going to bring through messages from loved ones in spirit and make you go home feeling all lovely and gooey inside, right? That's platform mediumship. Paranormal mediumship is linking into I'm going to use the word entities, okay? So it's linking into entities or the building or the land, just making that connection with spirit on that level, which is completely different from the platform mediumship. Find out what's going on. Why are they there? What are they doing? You know, with a residual haunting, as you know, Sean, you're never going to have a conversation with something like that. Yeah. But you can read by use of psychometry. You can read the building or link into items that are in certain rooms that are causing this phenomena to happen and find out exactly what went on, why it's happening, and relay the story, you know. So there are big differences between the two. And a lot of people don't realise there is an actual third where it's... I wouldn't want to label it as anything, but it's the removal of unwanted guests. And you'll see a lot of mediums or self-proclaimed mediums saying that moving something into the light is moving it on.
Yeah.
I beg to differ. I'm going to upset a lot of people now, but it's not as easy as that. If you could put something into the light and move it on, then there wouldn't be half the problems that we have today. It's a grey area, that is. There's lots of facets that goes with that, but maybe that's another show, Phil.
I mean, that in a way can go into what happened at the Pontefract House a couple of weeks ago with that medium proclaiming that it moved on the black monk that haunts the place. I mean, whether the black monk story is true or not, would that actually be an easy thing, as he made it out, to do?
What, moving it into the light?
Yes, something that's been there for hundreds of years.
No. I mean, if it's something that didn't want to go into the light for a start, he's going to have a big fight on his hands, If it jumped into him and he was able to march it off the property and get it onto consecrated ground and all the rest of it, might have been a different story, but I doubt very much whether he did any of that. None whatsoever.
A big publicity stunt.
I think so, and it was a good one. You got to hand it to him.
Yeah, it worked.
Maybe I should try that, Sean. That's where we're going wrong, Sean.
Must be. Do you find it difficult when you're on just a paranormal investigation that doesn't need any of your mediumship gifts to just concentrate on the investigating without wanting to open?
Sometimes, Sean, you know that spirit can open you up. You've got no choice. If they want to have this conversation with you, they see, I call it shining. I've got all these weird and wonderful names for everything, but they see you straight away. You glow more than the rest of the other people there. They know that they can come to you and harass you until you listen to them, sort of thing. And a good medium will always try and close themselves down, i.e. not allow them to be taken over, not allow the, trance mediumships. You've seen me do that, Sean.
Yeah.
And pushing them away, and not allowing them to step into you, not allowing them to sort of take it away from the investigation. Because you find that a lot of people that, especially on a public event, they come and do an investigation with the public, and you'll get bombarded with, I don't know, Sarah's grandfather wants to come and have a chat and give her a message. Richard's great nana she's turned up and she wants to tell him where he's lost his 50 quid and where he'll find it, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that takes it away from the investigation itself. You don't want to be bogged down with doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not
Understand
what I'm
that, yeah. Got a question. Mark Pritchard has asked, Vivien, do you still do psychic art? I know when we met the first time, I'm sure that you did this. Do you pick up on this a lot when you go into places?
Psychic art. I had to go at it, Mark. I was useless. I have done one or two I don't know what happened there. I just thought I'd do a bit of automatic handwriting and ended up with this beautiful picture. And if you know me, I'm not an artist. I can't draw for nothing. I can do Snoopy at a push, but that's about it,
So if the spirit of Snoopy comes through, it'll be all right.
Yeah, I could do Snoopy. But it's funny, you can work alongside psychic artists, and I have been. Oh God, where was this? I think it was in Barnes a long time ago in London, and I had a go of doing platform work with the woman sitting next to me with all her pencils, and she was scribbling away as I was relaying a message. She was connecting with me and getting the pictures out and giving them to people. That was interesting, but it's not really something that I'm into, to be honest, Mark. But yeah, I hope you're all right though, Mark, and doing well. I'll keep up the good work. He's been going off here, there, and everywhere. I've been following Mark. He's a good guy.
Definitely is. Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you for your question, Mark.
I asked this one to Ryan Griffiths last week. What's your thoughts on the sudden mad influx of self-proclaimed mediums that are popping up left, right, and centre, starting to hold events and all sorts of things?
Oh, Sean, I have to be careful what I say now. You know what I'm thinking immediately. You know what I'm thinking, and I'm going to think about my words very carefully now.
Okay.
Right. There has been a spate of frauds going on, and the biggest one of recent months is Alias Sanctus. I'm going to say it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And that blew up big time. A lot of people lost money. They were hurt. Venues. I mean, the knock-on effect was ridiculous. These people that are proclaiming to be mediums, when they've not had the proper training, I mean, anyone can pretend to link with a spirit. Good luck to you. You're a good actor. But the damage they do is to the individual that's receiving the message. Yeah. They haven't put the thought, the care, the counselling, the reasons why people want a message in the first place. What if that one person had lost somebody recently and were going through a really bad grieving time? I don't think they see the bigger picture, what they're actually doing. You've got to be careful how you word things to people. And if you've not got that connection with spirit and they're not giving you the words to relay to them, you could be damaging that person so much. And I'm not just talking about going into homes or, trying to clear spirits in there. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about even at something as silly as holding an event or, I just think that they're very, very irresponsible. They're seeing money in front of them. They're doing it for money, for no other reason. You can't govern mediums. You can't, guide people. Don't go with them. There's no legislation in place for it. But what you can do is ask for references. Ask if they hold any certificates. Where have they done their mediumship before? What churches have they served? What circles they've sat in? How they got their training? It's a bit like the ghost hunting. You can ask people questions. I mean, if somebody's advertising, my advice would be don't go. A good medium will never advertise, and they never charge.
Yeah,
that's why I don't charge. I mean, you know me. I'll say, "I'll just get us a packet of fags, or cup of tea will do," or a slice of cake with a cup of tea. That'll go down well, But it's just like public having common sense.
Yeah,
honestly, it's common sense.
Right, so we'll move on from the mediumship side and talk about this. Apparently, something coming up called Paraforce UK.
Oh yes. Me and this guy called Sean, right?
Who's that?
He's some guy that I know. I get on really well with him most of the time.
Okay, obviously, I know the answer to this one, but what started Paraforce UK? Why was it started up? For those that are listening that don't know.
Shall we tell him, Sean?
Go on then.
Well, we were involved, weren't we, with another event, let's say, back in 2014.
Yes.
And we picked up the pieces where other people had sort of just given up and left for whatever reason. We won't go into that. And we ran with it, didn't we, Sean?
We did. We also had a lot of message after the original event failed to sort of return for a second year. I think both of us were inundated with messages about, will you do something?
Do you remember that time, Sean? I mean, I was ringing you and texting you, messaging you, saying, Sean, these people, I don't even know who they are. And you were like, yeah, same with me.
Yeah. So I think... Yeah, that was the birth, wasn't it, really, of Paraforce?
They didn't realise. I don't think people realise what we did behind the scenes for that event. If it weren't for us, hand on heart, I really do think that event wouldn't have gone through, Sean.
No, it was... At that time, like you say, we did a hell of a lot for the guy that was arranging it all behind the scenes, picking him up off the floor in tears and et cetera, but it was his event, so we just stepped into the background.
But even if the things like we did, like you arranged for all the PAT testing to be done, I looked at all the legal aspects of it, all the insurances and all the rest of it, the UK laws that were, I didn't have a clue, did he?
Bless him. But I suppose you could say it put us in good stead to start off Paraforce.
It did. And, I mean, we had a really good friendship before that. I mean, for those that don't know, I've known Sean for quite a lot of years.
Yes.
A lot of years.
Many moons now.
But it sort of... it solidified our friendship even more, though, didn't it? Because we went through thick and thin together. We cried together. We laughed together. We got excited together, and and Sarah as well, and Andy, bless her. We've been through a lot, and we continue to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people out there that support us actually realise how much work and effort goes in every week of the year to get these events going, and the amount of emailing and messaging people and everything else, it takes up a heck of a lot of time to put on a 2-day convention.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even just that though, is it, Sean? I mean, we also get oh God, how can I word it without it being horrible for radio? I'm trying to pick my words carefully. But you also get the negativity that comes with it that also can be quite demoralising. I mean, I don't know if you remember was it last year before, the first year, when we had a gentleman, we shall not mention any names, he tried to, I think he put tried to put the spanner in the works with us, and also another convention that was starting up at the time as well. Yes. I mean, it didn't amount to anything, but people just don't realise. I mean, as much as all the praise and all the pats on the backs, and you both did really well. Behind the scenes, me and Sean are like falling apart because we've had negativity, bad reviews, all that sort of thing. You know, we get all that as well as the good.
That's it. I mean, for each one we've organised, this is our third year. I think every year there's something's crawled out of the woodwork that's attacked us, and we've had to calm everything down, so to say, well, look, hang on, well, where's this coming from? And people, you don't see that because we cover that. We don't want the negativity of the field. That's not what Paraforce is about. No. But we get attacks from left, right, and centre for doing what we do.
We also, don't we get people saying, messaging us or emailing us or whatever, or ringing us saying, oh, this so-and-so people, don't get involved with them, or do you know so-and-so? Or is that, you know, and you think, I don't know them. I don't want to get involved.
Yeah. We also have the side as well, where we've even got celebrity guest speakers who won't work with other guest speakers.
Oh, yeah. If they knew what we knew.
Yeah.
That is funny.
We can approach a guest speaker. Would you like to talk? Oh, yeah, lovely. As long as you get a list of people, as long as none of these are talking, then I'll come. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that is funny. I mean, people don't realise that me and you are behind the scenes, and we're giggling and not laughing at them, but laughing because of it, you know?
Yes, yeah. It's mad.
It is. But hey-ho, we live and learn, don't we?
We do. I mean, it's like, I think I can speak for both of us. It's like, I've been asked, why don't you have some, like, example, ghost adventures over? Why don't you have such and such over? And what people don't realise, it's not a case of not wanting them over. It's a case, number one, the costs involved. Yeah. Number two, we like to try to promote the UK paranormal scene, not just your big TV stars.
Yeah. I mean, like, they don't realise that, you know, you're having to fly them over. You've got the costs of that. Then you've got the costs of when they're here. And then, the list is endless, isn't it? You know? Yeah. But shall we just say we are working on it, you know, with every year that we grow. And I believe we are growing, aren't we, Sean? I think you would agree.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
You know,
we're hoping, really, to have the cup this year. Some special guests, shall we say? Oh, yes. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to say who they are. But these guests are huge. They're huge. Yes, so we won't be announcing anything until it's all signed, sealed and delivered. But it'll be a bit of a surprise for everybody that's coming, I think, this one.
I think so. And I think they will be surprised and in awe, and they'll have a lot of questions to ask them, and there might be a stampede.
Well, we like to do things different, don't we?
Yeah. But it's coming on. And if anyone wants a vendor, wants a stall there to sell whatever you want to sell within reason, you know, contact us. We've still got spots. You'd be more than welcome. Come for one day, come for the whole weekend. Me and Sean will go over and have a nosy and see what they got to sell.
Definitely. You never know if it's any good. We might even buy something.
Yeah. Get a bargain.
Yeah, definitely.
We like bargain.
I mean, Ashley's just put, stick with it. Though, as the conventions are fantastic places to bring individuals and teams together. They are great for chatting about future subjects. Thank you for your work. I agree with Ashley. These 3 conventions at the moment running, well, possibly 4. So I'm not sure if Wales Con's back on again this year.
Yeah. They're called, I think it's FearCon, isn't it?
Yeah, FearCon, that's right. So there's 4 conventions running, really, every year now in the UK, which is fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. It's a good way of bringing everybody together.
As well, and not only that, it's working within, I mean, I can mention that Paraforce does work closely with another convention, and we are networking abroad as well. We got I've got to mention, Sean, Paraforce Holland.
Yes.
You know, that came about because of Paraforce UK, and we're helping Gert. If you're listening, Gert, big hello to you, guy. We're helping Gert as much as we can as well, sort of behind the scenes. So, you know, it's not just what we do here in the UK. We have got our fingers in pies abroad, but we don't eat the pies because we get too fat.
Yes. we're nibbling those pies at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, where, obviously for the people who are listening, where do you see Paraforce being in the next few years?
I think it will be quite successful. I think we will still try and promote the UK, and you know what people don't realise is this year we had we call it a raffle. It weren't really a raffle, was it? It was like yeah, and it was to give you know, the new team starting up, or if you've been doing it for years, or if you're a guy that does it on your own, or whether you're a medium or whatever, it gave people the chance to come and do a presentation at Paraforce.
Excuse me.
Oh dear, you want to cut down those fags, Sean?
That's drink down the wrong hole.
But yeah, no, we try and promote everybody, not just people that may be doing it for a long time, but anybody and everybody. We try and promote you. So we started that this year, and I can see that side of it as well growing. Can you?
Definitely. Because, I mean, personally, my personal opinion is I think that your unknown investigator, the guy that, or the lady that goes out there week after week after week investigating and researching and really getting involved in it, has got as much to say, if not more, than these people that you see on TV week in, week out.
Yeah, I call them the unsung heroes.
Definitely.
You know, the people that do a lot, you know, whether it's arranging events to just a small group of you. It could be anybody, you know, it doesn't matter what you do. If you've got something to say, we want to hear it. We'll listen. Yeah. We'll put you up there. And I think that side of it, I mean, once upon a time, the UK used to lead paranormal investigations and ghost hunting and the supernatural. And now I think we've fallen on the wayside a little bit. I don't know why that is. I don't know whether it's because of media and what they do in the States and the TV programs. Who knows? But we just don't seem to be there anymore.
I think it's to do with the media. It's like, I mean, we spoke earlier on off air, the programme that started tonight, that Celebrity Haunted Mansion. What they've got US reality stars like Jason Hawes and Jack Osborne presenting a UK show. Why didn't they approach some UK paranormal investigators to do a UK show? I think it seems to be overlooked.
I'm going to put out a poll, right? I think we should petition these channels and get Rylan Clark doing it. I like Rylan. He did all right last time. Sorry, did I say that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you said that out loud.
No, but he did. You know, the last one they did at Readout Fall with Rylan.
Yeah.
He actually did surprise me. Yes, he's one of these celebrity presenters, but he actually conducted himself in a way that, I mean, me as I look at him and think, oh, sweet old Rylan. He's like, you know, the adopted son, but he doesn't know. But he did okay, and he actually did the show proud. It was the people that were on it that sort of went a bit awry, let's say.
Yeah.
But Rylan, and actually, you know, Raps went in the week after they were there, and I spoke to the people that run it at Readout Fall, and I asked her she met them all, and I asked her, what did you think, and all the rest of it, and I can't repeat what she said, but she did say that Rylan actually did surprise her, and he was the only one there that she could say that had any common sense. Let's just put it that way.
Actually took it seriously. Yeah,
he did his job, and he did it well.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that these people that they get presenting these shows are well known, the celebrities, so to say. But I think it's about time, like you said, the channels such as Really, Living TV, etc., took notice and realised that there's just as good investigators and presenters here in the UK.
Yeah, yeah. Well, watch this space. I think more and more and more will come up. You don't know what's around the corner, so we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled and see what comes up.
Yeah. Eyes peeled, fingers crossed.
And hopefully the public will get behind and support these guys that do a good job, you know?
Definitely. I think that's why it needs public support to, like I say, realise that British people know as much as the Americans, if not more.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think it's the fact that we've allowed ourselves to become stagnant. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
If you ask people, have you heard of the SPR? Is it the SPR? They'll say, who's that? Have you heard of ASSAP? Who are they? You know?
Yeah.
So it's a bit like that.
Yeah, I think Ashley's sort of hit it a bit there. He's just said in the chat room, we're still there. It's just research being done, isn't sensational and doesn't fit the TV format.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of investigators, all of us really would love to see a true investigation on TV, but it's not a ratings puller at the end of the day.
It'll be boring.
Yeah.
It would be boring. Bottom line.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Mark's just said as well, the chat room, we have more history than them. It's the amount of Americans that have come over that we've spoke to, and they just cannot believe the age of some of our buildings and our history compared to what they've got.
Yeah. No, that's true. And also the events that happened within those buildings. People talk about the stone tape theory. Well, I won't say what I want to say about that, but I can blow that out the window. In fact, I can blow that out the window with about 6 or 7 witnesses. You know, people talk about, why don't you see ghosts of cavemen, right?
Yeah.
Neolithic man has been spotted. Fact. Honestly, with my hand on my heart, and I took this news to a person that used to talk a lot about the stone tape theory and wants to go to this place so desperately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can, both myself and you, we know that Neolithic man does haunt due to an investigation that we've both been involved in.
Yes. And also, you know, these apparitions of inanimate objects. People are forgetting about that sort of thing as well. You don't hear it reported very much, you know. Sutton Hoo, apparently once a year, the Viking ship appears. Yeah. There's planes, all sorts. The horse, you know, the horse and carriages that go past, and all this. It's all seemed to have died a death, I think, because nobody's looking for it anymore. They've forgotten about those and just want the full-bodied apparition and I've met a ghost sort of thing. Yes,
exactly. It's like I say, it's a strange subject when inanimate objects appear, but nobody ever seems to want to see them or mention them. It's always the apparitions.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, Sean, I mean, we're going to hit the supernatural side of it now. You know, when you went home from an investigation up this end, my neck of the woods, and you saw that cat run across the road.
Yes, yeah.
I'm so jealous because I want to see it as well. But
yeah, for our listeners who don't know that story, I've been down to Vivien Powell's for the weekend. As me and Sarah in the car driving back, was just coming past Rutland Waters. It was quite foggy, and all of a sudden, running across the road was all I could describe as a big black cat. It was, the height was level with the bonnet of the car to slam the brakes on, and then it disappeared across the road into a hedge on the other side of the road. And it was one of them points where I thought, why haven't I got a dash cam? Which I've now got.
Yeah.
But I was in awe. It was crazy. And I didn't realise until I got home and Googled black cats in the UK that Rutland Water's renowned for sightings.
Yeah. But also, like, you know, tie it in with that. This is the crypto side of me coming out, you know, now. Ashley will know more about this than me, but, you know, the black shuck, you know, that has been reported throughout history. Has it always been a black cat? you know.
Yeah. Could well have been. I think there's that much out there, like I say, getting into the supernatural side of it. There's that much out there that we just can't explain.
No. And that's what Paraforce does. It brings the other elements into a conference that we try and sort of just jog them a little bit. And, you know, we had Malcolm there for 2 years, and he's done so much, that guy. He's amazing. But, you know, he would be one of the best guys to talk about. He's written books and all sorts about it, you know. Yeah,
definitely. So I say in Paraforce, we like to try and bring a bit of everything in. Not just the paranormal, a bit of everything, the UFO researchers, everything. As much as a mix of people that we can get there, we try to get there.
Because it all sort of comes under the same umbrella, sort of, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's all the supernatural world, which paranormal is just a small part of it. And if we can help ignite a passion or light a fire and get an interest in a certain subject, I think we've done our job, haven't we, Sean? You know,
try to get an interest in unexplained phenomena.
Yes, that's a big word.
It was, wasn't it?
I can't say that word. But no, I think that also it's a place to come and meet like-minded people, network.
Yeah.
If you've got a problem and you don't know where to go, you could, I don't know, meet people at the conventions and not feel stupid telling them about your problem. Oh, I think I'm being hounded by this. I don't know what to do. Oh, no, just the person that you can speak to. Well, go and fetch someone, or, you know, whatever.
I think we've been really lucky with our guest speakers over the years that we've had, that all of them have been so friendly and open to speak to all of our guests that have come to see them. It's absolutely, it's like one big family.
Do you know what, Sean? My favourite part of Paraforce UK to date has got to be the chance that I got to get our own back on Barry Fitzgerald.
With Joe.
With Joe Chin, because these are things that the public don't get to know about, really. And Joe's had a conversation with me about Barry and what they used to do on GHI, and they'd always play pranks on each other, and it was normally the pranks played on Joe, which he didn't mind, you know, because he's such a lovely guy. But we had the opportunity to play one of the biggest pranks back on Barry, which we did it off camera and away from public. But it's these memories that are forged that will always be with me, and I think the public that come as well is just the same. The fact that I sat down and had a cup of tea with Joe Chin and we chatted about Tesco's and what the Tesco stores are about. You know, anything, you know. It doesn't have to be about paranormal.
That's one of the things that sticks with me is the people that come up to you saying, I can't believe that I've just had a chat with Barry Fitzgerald for half an hour. He's a really nice guy. Because I think they've got this preconception that these TV stars and the well-known paranormal investigators are going to be ego-driven and aloof and won't speak to them. And I think they love it, the fact that they can sit and talk to them.
Yeah. Do you know what? That point in mind, I remember last year, Barry coming up to me, and I'm sure this guy that I'm going to mention now won't mind me saying this at all. I call him Mulder. What's his name? Paul Mould?
Paul Mould, yeah. I'm Mouldy.
Yeah. Well, Barry saw Paul Mould for the first time, and Barry come and he raced up to me and he said, Vivien, see your man over there. He looks like Rhaegar from Vikings. I went, what? He said, I'd love a picture with him. Can you just sort of happen to catch me walking past him? I'll tell you what, I'll go and ask him if he minds having a picture taken with you. He went, would you? And I went, yeah. And Barry was more excited to meet Paul Mould than he was when Paul Mould was to meet him. It was so surreal. And, you know, it's little things like that. You know, Paul Mould is like, and when I told him afterwards and Barry had gone, he says, that's really nice. He says, he's a skinnier version of me, but I can see why he's saying that. You know, it was quite funny, and it was brilliant.
I think Barry's one of the nicest people in the paranormal. My personal opinion, he'll do anything for you. I mean, sadly, he can't make it this year because I think it's a family christening at the same weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that we won't be able to keep him away for 2019.
No. I think he might be making plans to sort of contact us at any minute, say, give us a date for next year. I'll throw you some dates so I can make it. I can see that happening, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And Donna as well with him. Donna, she's lovely, bless her.
Yeah. Good fun.
Another good thing I think about Paraforce, the amount of people that have messaged me and said I've made such good friends over that weekend. They've turned up on their own, not knowing anybody.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they're part of a family. David Cook, as an example.
Yes.
He made so many friends, turned up on his own, bless him, and he made so many friends last year. He can't wait for this year's again.
Oh, shall we announce David Cook?
Yes.
How can we do it on your show? It's a bit naughty.
It is a bit naughty, but yeah, I'm sure we can.
Okay, shall I do it then so you won't get in trouble?
Yeah.
Okay. You heard it here first on Parasearch Radio on the Supernatural Chat Show with Sean Cadman. David Cook will be our official broadcaster for Paraforce UK.
Yes.
Only because we can't. Parasearch are going to be busy elsewhere, but we have locked him in. So you heard it here first. Remember that.
Yes. Also, I mean, obviously, with Kerry's going to be speaking at Paraforce this year and everything else, so it'd be quite a busy weekend if we ask Parasearch to be our radio station for this year.
I think Kerry's talk. I'll be talking to Lucy Albrighton, a good friend of mine, last night, and we are so excited. We're looking forward to Kerry's talk out of all the guest speakers.
Yes.
Not being biased, but we're looking forward to what she has to talk about, and we're really excited. We are really excited. That's one talk. I'm not doing any work, Sean. I'm not going anywhere or seeing to anyone. I'm listening to Kerry, I'm afraid.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, working off that, last year was, for ourselves, for me and you, I think it was, because it was our second year and we knew more how it all ran, it was quite a lot easier than the first year. The first year we seemed to run around like lunatics for the whole 2 days. Yeah. I think last year just didn't seem so bad for us personally. No,
and I think the venue helped as well because of how it was situated and the different areas you could go to, and it just, like, you know, I know that you would agree, Sean, that we are quite laid back, and it's like, no, you've got to do this or you've got to do that. It's just like, go where you want, do what you want within reason, just don't upset anyone, you know, otherwise we'll have to physically throw you out. But
yeah, that's it. I think that's another thing that makes Paraforce what it is, that once people walk through that door, they're free to do what they want.
Yeah.
There's no rules, regulation. Obviously, like you say, you behave yourselves, you don't burn the place down or start fighting with anybody. Enjoy it, have fun.
But I think also, I mean, the VIP package that we put together, where people get to have something to eat, go and investigate, or just chillax and you know, chat or whatever you want to do. I mean, I think that also helps people feel at ease, those that come as a VIP, because they're not being told you can't do this, you can't do that. We don't mind. Just enjoy yourself. It's your event. We put this on for you. Yeah. You know, and they can't believe that one. I think last year somebody was saying, "Where do I have to go now?" So, well, have you had something to eat? Go and get something to eat. And what do I do after that? Well, do you fancy doing a ghost hunt, or do you want to chillax, or do you just want to stand at the bar and have a drink? It's up to you.
I got that as well. After everybody had the food and everything, they're like, well, when does the investigation start? Where do we go first? It's like, well, it starts wherever you want to go and go wherever you like. And they're like, really? It's like, just do what, take your cat off, you go, investigate wherever you like. And people couldn't believe it. I think they thought they were going to be herded around like cattle.
No, I mean, it's nice if, like, say, if somebody was on their own or they didn't know where to go or what to do, you know, we'd take them and show them, and they'd get into it, and then they'd be chatting to somebody else that's doing something, they'd go off with them, and nobody's feeling, oh, well, they were with me a minute ago. It's not like that. It's not like that at all.
No. It's like the people we have helping us. Like last year, Andy Radley and his team did a fantastic job of guiding people. People wanted to know what activity had happened. They guided them to that area.
Yeah.
And it really worked. Same as this year, we'll have Naomi and Kelly doing the same sort of thing. They're not telling people what to do. They're there as guides to help them. Yeah, go here or do that. I think people enjoy it like that.
I think so.
I mean, if we're wrong, please tell us.
Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of good comments, and we have the comments book out, and people can email us, or they can Facebook us, or they can do us independently or through the Paraforce or whatever. I think we're going to be starting a bi-weekly live thing, aren't we, Sean? So people can put questions to us. So we'll do it independently. So if they don't want to speak to me, they can speak to you, and vice versa.
Yeah, that'll be happening probably every 2 weeks. We'll either do it together some weeks or independent, depending what we're doing.
We'll just mix it up a bit and keep them on their toes. Yeah.
What we're looking at was it a Monday night?
I can't remember.
Yeah, so it'll probably be a Monday night, around about 8:30, and we'll do just half an hour Facebook Live for people to put questions to us. Yeah. And whatever they want.
Yeah.
So, right, well, we'll jump back onto Paraforce again. We've only got 15 minutes. Right.
Oh, Sean, you do talk a lot.
Oh, I know, just waffle and waffle.
That's why we love you.
Yeah. Right, back onto the paranormal. If there was anywhere in this country that you could investigate for a full night that you haven't yet been, where would it be?
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yes.
I've got my favourite place that I've investigated, and I've been really lucky to do that. And I will go back and I'll be doing that again, but it won't be a full night. I would love to do a full night there, but I have to be grateful with the bones that I get thrown, if you like, and I have to hand that feeds me when he does let me in. But I don't know.
Put you on the spot there.
You have. I would like to go underground to a disused coal mine.
That'd be good.
There are a few, not tunnels, actual coal mines that are not working anymore. They're more the museum-y type things. I think a coal mine would be interesting.
Yeah.
I might come out black, but I'll travel, you know.
I think if I had a choice, if I could do anywhere, I think it'd be unrestricted access to the cave system underneath Nottingham.
Well, we've done part of it, haven't we?
We've done a little bit, yeah, but there's miles and miles and miles, which covers the whole of Nottingham, and rumour and old legend has it that it even goes as far as Wollerton Hall. Unrestricted would be amazing.
Have they bricked some of it up, though? They've blocked parts of I think so, I don't know.
They've blocked parts of it up because some of it's strange land laws, but some of it is actually owned by the people who have the houses on top of it.
Oh, right, okay.
It's classed as something to do with it's their cellar, even though they don't have access to it themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's underneath their property, so a lot of it's all gated off and things.
Yeah.
They're still exploring it themselves down there. Unrestricted access would be incredible, I think, for that.
What we need to do is join an archaeology team, Sean, and we'll be there. We'll be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about worldwide then?
Oh, now you're talking.
But you can only pick one.
Well, I'm working. I'm beavering behind. Can you still hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, I'm beavering behind in the background to try and get an event together for 2019. And it won't be a public event or anything like that, but I am looking abroad. So There are a couple that are on my hit list, and if I can get in, I'll be very, very happy bunny. But if I can go anywhere in the world, no bars hold, no restrictions in the way, no red tape, let's say, it would be the Taj Mahal in India.
That's a different one.
The Taj Mahal in India, that always holds a fascination with me. I mean, I've been lucky enough to do other places in the world and go in after hours and get access to things. But the Taj Mahal is just one of those places that, I don't know, I'm drawn to that place.
Yeah. I think mine would be the catacombs.
Would it?
Yeah, unrestricted access down there with a very, very, very big piece of ball of wool. Yeah.
I don't forget to take your supplies, your sandwiches, your bags, you know.
Yeah, we're fine then. Down there for a few days, I'll be well away.
So I do like India. There's lots of places there. I mean, I suppose because I'm half caste as well, and my father is Indian, and I know a bit about the history and what happened over there. So I'm sort of a little bit biased, let's say. But
that'd be a good one. It's different. It's not one that everybody would think of.
No. But I've seen spirit abroad. I've actually even seen a possession, believe it or not, in India that absolutely fricked the life out of me.
I can remember you telling me about that one.
Yeah, and I was quite young when I saw that. It was quite horrific. But when people tell you that possession doesn't exist, they're lying. It is varying forms, isn't it? But
yes,
I did see a horrible thing in India that stayed with me for the rest of my life.
Oh yes, it has me. You only told me about it.
I mean, it made me scared to watch The Exorcist for years.
I'm not surprised.
I wouldn't watch it. I was too scared, but I did watch The Exorcist. It's one of my favourite films now. So.
It is a pretty good film, that. I've just got to mention quick, when we finish at 9 o'clock, if you refresh your page and then you'll be able to listen to Haunted Histories with Penny, tonight she's talking about the Winchester House, which I think that's going to be a pretty interesting show. So don't forget, when we finish at 9, I'll try and finish on time for you, Penny. When we finish at 9, if you just refresh the page and then carry on listening to Penny's show afterwards. So how can people get tickets for this little event, this Paraforce thing that's happening then, Viv?
For this little event that's happening, I suggest people should go to the website, www.paraforceuk.com. All the information is there, guest speakers, vendors, even the Paraforce Awards. Mustn't forget that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, get yourself a Scary Mary. That's not so scary.
I mean, funnily enough, for a fun thing, that we've had some hassle over the Paraforce Awards. People saying that we're putting people in competition with each other. It's nothing like that, is it?
It's a bit of fun.
Exactly.
It's a bit of fun, and we don't. Paraforce don't choose the winners. It's you guys that choose the winners, and it's just a bit of fun. It's to give something back to the community. They get a Scary Mary that's not so scary. And it's just a little keepsake. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything at all. Apart the people that win it love it. Yeah. Absolutely love it, because, like you say, it's the public recognition. The public vote for these awards. Nothing to do with us. The only one we have a say in is the Outstanding Achievement Award. The rest of it's all down to public votes.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget the prestigious award, which is the Paranormal Pin-Up Guy and the Paranormal Pin-Up Girl. Everyone wants that title. Oh, yes.
So we've got quite a few multiple award winners as well. Who'll be vying to keep their titles this year. So if anybody wants to vote for it, you can even vote for yourself.
Yeah.
In its categories from investigator, magazine, researcher, YouTube channel, even logos. If you just jump onto the website, www.paraforceuk.com, jump onto the tab that says awards and get your votes in.
Yeah, and there's details on there of how to enter. I mean, if you're putting photographs, what format to send them in, any film footage, and you never know. I think last year a member of the press was there. You never know what could happen. Yeah, I'm not saying that they will, but you never know.
I mean, we didn't even know about that till afterwards. But
I know.
Members of the press paying to come. If they're paying, they can all come.
Yeah. Do you reckon the Sun will give us 50 quid for a day entry?
Oh, you never know. We'll message them and ask them. Penny's just put best presenter of haunted histories.
Yes, get your votes in for Penny. I mean, she deserves it. She works bloody hard, if I do say so myself, and she puts on a very good show. So get your votes in. And
just as a side note, you can't vote for, even though this show is absolutely incredible, you can't vote for me because Paraforce staff are not allowed to have awards. The only awards that we can be nominated in are the pin-up ones. That's it.
Is that a plug?
No.
Vote for Sean.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to accept an award as for radio presenter, just the same as Viv wouldn't be able to accept one for medium. We can't accept one for investigators. So please don't vote for Paraforce staff.
No. I think it's all on there, isn't it, on the website?
Yes, yeah. So, just go for it. Get on there and vote for yourselves.
Yeah. Or just get on there and tell us what you've been doing, what you've been up to. We're interested. Message us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Carrie's just reminded me, actually. Haunted Histories, that follows at 9 o'clock. Penny's actually talking with, is it Dalen from the Ghost Brothers?
Woohoo.
Yes, here we're talking about the Winchester House. That's going to be very interesting. Very interesting.
Do you think she's going to ask him where the saying comes from? It's time to pop. Was it pop the trunk?
You can tell her now. Tell her to ask that.
I think people should tune in and find out.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Refresh this page and have a listen. So, what does everybody have to look forward to at this year's Paraforce?
Oh, too much to mention. Everything.
Everything.
The food, the seaside, the cosplay element that we've got involved with it. You can come dressed up if you want to. Yep. You know, I'm thinking about doing a Game of Thrones tribute. You never know, or a pirate. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, so if you're into fancy dress and you want to come to Paraforce to get into the vibe of the cosplay, feel free. Wear whatever you like. There's going to be stormtroopers there. There's going to be Daleks there. There's going to be all sorts there.
Yeah, and me.
Yes, and there'll even be the Paraforce Scarecrow.
Hey, Sean, should we dress you up?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I'll work on him.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you can come and shake hands with a Paraforce Scarecrow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the venue, this year's venue, I think it's a really good venue. Nice and open, plenty of space for everybody.
By the seaside.
Yeah, you can go on a donkey.
Yeah. Come as a gang of pirates and scare everyone at the seaside coast. That's fine. We don't mind.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, I mean, if you haven't got your ticket yet, why not? Get on the website, www.paraforceuk.com, and get your ticket. There's limited VIP tickets. We're only putting 50 VIP tickets up this year.
And there's no big VIP tickets on the door. There'll be more. You'll pay more on the door, so get them in. Get your payment. Get your tickets in now while you can, and just save yourself a few quid.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the ticket prices go up for the day passes by £5 on the door. Yeah. So if you can only make it during the days and you don't want to take advantage of the VIP package, I'd get your day tickets in advance as well. Save yourselves £10 over the weekend.
Yeah.
So what is it? I think what's the price? Is it £10 per day, £15 for both days on a day pass?
It is, yeah. It's still cheap. It's still
absolute bargain. I mean, that goes back in a way to what sort of guests we bring over, because if we brought these huge guests over from the States, you've not only got their airfare, but a lot of them also charge quite large fees to appear.
Yeah.
Which means putting ticket prices up, which is something we don't want to do.
No. And we got some special guest people turning up. I mean, look out for that. That's a biggie. If and when it gets announced, you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yes, it will. So, thank you very much, Viv, for coming on.
Thank you, Sean, my bro.
That's okay, and we shall chat soon. And I'll now have to hand you over, ready for Haunted Histories. Penny will be happy that I'm actually finishing on time. This is good. Normally go over by 5 minutes, but she's lovely, so she don't mind. But there we are. Thank you very much for listening tonight. Massive thanks to Viv for coming on and chatting with me, and I shall speak to you all again next Wednesday. You've been listening to the Supernatural Chat Show. Thank you very much. Good night, and over to Kerry.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.